Hey, it's Kevin DeWitt here, and welcome to another plugin knowledge session. In this session, we're going to check out a plugin called BitCrusher from Steinberg. So firstly, if you are new to my channel and new to my videos, you like what you see, please click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. So I thought for a few videos here, I might go back and check out a couple of the interesting sort of plugins that come within Cubase Pro. Now, whether these plugins come in the lower versions, I'm not 100% sure, but definitely check it out if you have a lower version to see if they are included. But I just thought, well, why look at plugins that cost you money all the time when we have a DAW that we've already purchased, like Cubase Pro, that includes its own plugins? Well, we'll call them plugins. Obviously, they're built in, so they're not really plug-in, but they fall in line with the same concept. So I thought I'd cover a few of those just for the sake of, you may as well use what you've got if you can, okay, in your DAW. So the first one I'm going to look at is called BitCrusher, and we're going to have a bit of a play with that now. I think the name pretty much explains what it's going to do. It's going to crush some bits out of your audio and give you some sort of unique sounds and distortion, etc. So let's just get into it and I'll show you what it does. Okay, so here we are in Cubase and I have the BitCrusher plugin open. So obviously this is created by Steinberg. It is built into the Cubase Pro software. I'm not sure what other versions it is included in, but it is definitely included in the Pro version. So the description from the manual, just to go through it here for a BitCrusher is, if you're into a lo-fi sound, BitCrusher is the effect for you. It offers the possibility of decimating and truncating the input audio signal by bit reduction to get a noisy, distorted sound. For example, you can make a 24-bit audio signal sound like an 8 or 4-bit signal, or even render it completely garbled and unrecognizable. Right, so if we go through the controls here, so I mean, a lot of people know sort of what a BitCrusher is. It's classified under a distortion type plugin, but it sounds a little bit different. It gives you sort of a robotic, lo-fi type effect, depending on how hard you push it to get those bit crushing sounds, I guess. So at the top, we have this mode control here. So we have 4 different modes. Now, again, the manual says, basically, it doesn't tell you much at all, other than it says that each mode sounds different. Modes 1 and 3 are nastier and noisier, while modes 2 and 4 are more subtle. Okay. We then have a mix control over here, and that just sets the level balance between the dry signal and the wet. So I'm assuming 100% means it's 100% wet, 0 would be totally dry, and anywhere in between. We have this sample divider control here, and it sets the amount by which the audio samples are decimated. At the highest setting, so 65, I guess, nearly all of the information describing the original audio signal is eliminated, turning the signal into unrecognizable noise. And obviously 1 is either not doing anything at all or it's very subtle. We then have the depth control here. So this defines the bit resolution. A setting of 24 gives the highest audio quality, while a setting of 1 creates mostly noise. Okay, so that's the amount of bits. So normally in a mixing session here, we'd be running at 24 bits anyway. So that would be, I guess, basically almost untouched. I assume that this stuff still has an impact, but it's not that big a deal. Then we have the output control here, which is just going to set the output of the plugin so that we can match it to make it be level matched if we bypass and unbypass. Right, let's see what it does. So let's start with it in bypass mode. So we have just this song here. All right, we're going to leave it at 100% wet. We'll bring it in. Okay, so it doesn't seem to do anything yet, but let's try pushing this dial up. We'll leave it at 24 bits for the moment, just see if what impact this has. Okay. So 2 and 4 seem to be sort of a darker. Now obviously that's pretty extreme. Sort of sounds like it has a high pass filter on it. Okay, now if we just leave it there, now let's see what the bit depth does. So you can hear how nasty it gets as I drop the bits down. So down to 0, obviously nothing at all. And that's with our mix down to 0, so it should have no impact. You could bring some in, or all of it. So let's have a look at sort of what settings they have. Okay, so this is what they're calling a lo-fi setting. So they've gone for 8 bits with a 7. Okay, that's what it sounds like before. Okay, let's have a look. Out of order. Okay, so they're going extreme here, but and depending on the instrument gets you a different impact, obviously. As you could hear, the kick drum had a totally different sound. So this is an 8-bit reducer, which they set to 1, but they just set it to 8 bits. On a setting of 4. Doesn't have as big an impact as I thought it would, to be honest. An 80s Atmo. got a sort of a hiss sound to it. Okay, let's move it over to a single instrument here, something like drums. Okay, so before... See, now I think this is where, personally, where I think a BitCrusher is going to shine. It's going to be on something like electronic drums here that you're going to introduce in certain parts of the song to create that sort of breakdown or whatever you want to do, you know, just to add a little bit of texture or something like that. So, you know, you'd have your normal drums coming in, and then you might just fade this in. Actually, we could probably do it manually like this with the mix. And then you might fade it back out, you know. And you can obviously automate this to do other stuff, or even automate this. Yeah, this is what I love about these things, are the weird effects you can get out of this. You know, hear that sort of bell sound. Well, it's not even there in this drum itself. It's just the impact of this crushing. Now, if you actually assigned these to a MIDI controller or something like that, then you could actually sit there having some fun, you know, turning some dials, etc., and just sort of free playing this as the song goes through, and even maybe record your automation. This is one of these plugins that's very simple to use, and there's not really much to talk about, but you can see here it's quite entertaining to play with and experiment with the sounds you could get. Now, you could, in theory, you could do two things here, right? Let's just do a bit of experimentation, right? Because there's not really a great deal to go into here, right? I've already explained the controls. It's pretty simple. You can see what you do, and it's just a matter of playing with it to get the sound you want. But let's say we had two, you know, I duplicated the drums here, okay? Now, which one have we got it on? Let's take it off one. Right, so we're going to have a clean set of drums. Let's just turn these down. Right, so we've got a clean set of drums. And then we've got this one here with the BitCrusher. Now we could even turn it down here so you won't even hear it. Right, totally silent. So we've just got this one track unaffected. It's playing through our song. And then our second track we could affect. And you can add it to taste. Or you could mix it in on and off like I'm doing. You can hear this one, because it's breaking up so much, it's just adding a little bit to it. So if I take the original away, this is what we've got. Getting some really interesting clicks in the left and right in this part. So you can see there is a very simple plugin, but very entertaining to play with if you're into that sort of sound. And as I said, if you want to just texture on top of your existing drums, you don't have to have this overrule your entire mix. You can just have it do certain things on those sort of drums. And that's where I see it shine. Now, obviously, you could use this on any instrument, right? You don't have to have it on drums. You could even see I used it on the entire mix. It's totally up to you, the experimentation with this. But yeah, simple plugin, great fun. Comes free with Cubase Pro. So if you got Cubase Pro, check it out, try it out, and have some fun with it. So there you go. There is BitCrusher from Steinberg. As I said, it is included for free in Cubase Pro, possibly in some of the lower versions of Cubase as well, but I can't be assured of that. So check it out, see if they are in there or not. Let me know in the comments, just for my sake, if you want to let people know if they are included or not. And let me know whether you find this plugin or tool interesting. Do you use it? You know, because it's free, it's included in your DAW. Do you use it? Do you not use it because you don't like it and there's better products out there? I'd love to hear your opinion on that. Let me know in the comments. If you do have any questions also, please put them down in the comments. I'll try and help wherever I can. Again, if you like what you see here, please click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. Hopefully this video has been helpful. I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.